Welcome to IntyCenter, a very special IntyCenter where the first time in history we are going to actually give you a recap of every single game that was played and simulated in this set. And we will start by letting you know that Guy Hecker was great, Bob Turley was not. Hecker tossed a complete game. He gave up 2 runs, only one of them earned on just 3 hits. Turley got booted in the 3rd inning. He gave up 5 runs on 3 hits. He walked 6, just 2 1/3 innings pitched. Home run, Baker hits a pair of home runs. Game of throws, trounces Ciorak, Steel Tiger Cranes, 12-2. Similar story. Deacon Felipe, fantastic. Nolan Ryan, not so much. Felipe with the complete game. He gives up 1 run on 6 hits. Ryan goes 5 1/3. He gives up 8 runs on 6 hits. Only 3 of those runs was earned, but he did walk 6, so he only has himself to blame. Denny Lyons, Pete Browning, Roger Bresnahan, they each have 2 hits. A shack of their own wins it 9-1. The bandwagoners, they strike early and try to give it up late. Joe Mauer got an RBI single in the 1st, and they scored 3 in the 2nd. RBI doubles from Derek Jeter and Mickey Mantle, plus a sac fly from Felix Hernandez. They take a 4-0 lead in the 8th. That's where Let's Play 2 gets a 2-run pinch hit double from Mark Grace and an RBI single from Roberto Clemente. That brings it to a 4-3 score. But Jeter gets another RBI double in the 8th. That pushes the lead to 5-3. Hernandez works around a 1-out walk in the 9th. He finishes the game. Judy, probably wisely, opts not to use the pen. The bandwagoners take the opener 5-3. We had a slugfest, and depending on your point of view, either a meltdown or a comeback between 2 expansions teams as City of Ostenard visited the I-75 Orange Barrels. Highlighted by a Joe Medwick 3-run homer, City got a 4-run second, but the Barrels answered with 3 of their own in the bottom of the inning, and it could have been more if Matt Kemp hadn't been thrown out at the plate, ending the inning. City got another in the 3rd and 3 more in the 5th, this time on a triple from Medwick, making it 8-3 to the visitors. Alan Trammell homered in the 6th, and it was 9-3, but the Barrels get a 6-run 7th to tie it up. Gavi Kravitz had an RBI single. Deacon White had a 2-run single, but the big shot was a 3-run homer from Rico Petrocelli. The Barrels would take a lead in the 8th with a sac fly from White, a 2-run double from Kemp, and an RBI single from Reggie Smith. Gabe White pitches a scoreless 9th, and the Barrels take the opener 13-9. Tommy Holmes hit a 2-run homer in the top of the 1st for Family Madrigal. That was enough, as the Madrigal used 5 pitchers to combine to give up only a single unearned run. That one coming via an error and 2 wild pitches from Chrissy Mathewson. Madrigal add 2 solo homers from DJ LeMahieu and Billy Hamilton. They take the opener 4-1 over the Gales. A 3-run 3rd inning was the difference for San Francisco against Seattle. And Albert Pujols ground out an RBI double from Ozzie Smith and an RBI single from Frank Robinson staked the Demonbags to a 4-1 lead early. The Pilots pulled to within 6-3 in the 9th after a sac fly from George Brett. Heavy Johnson pinch hits with a tying run on deck, but he grounds out and the Demonbags hang on for the win. Corbin Burns and Ray Brown had their game locked at 2 entering the bottom of the 7th. The Enhancers bats come to life at that point, aided by a walk to Mike Piazza and Scott Rowland getting hit by a pitch. They load the bases with 1 out in the inning. Willie McCovey got a pinch hit RBI single to score 1 run and put him ahead. Barry Bonds and Frankie Lindor each drew a walk to score 2 more runs. Larry Walker singles, he scores 2 more. That puts the Enhancers up 7-2. Pud Galvin, Zach Britton, they each toss 1, 2, 3 innings, and the Enhancers win it 7-2. Game of Throws and Ciorak each scored early in Game 2 of their series. A 3-run homer from Carlos Delgado was a highlight of a 4-run first for the Throws. And the Tiger Cranes scored 1 in the 2nd on a wild pitch and 2 in the 3rd to make it 4-3. But the Throws scored late as well, 1 each in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings, including solo homers from Alex Bregman and Reggie Jackson. The Kings of the North take it 8-4. Ernie Banks hit a 3-run homer in the 1st. Fergie Jenkins hit a 3-run homer in the 3rd. And Let's Play 2 never looked back as they rolled to a 10-4 win over the Bandwagoners. Another absolutely forgettable start for Cannonball Dick Redding. He goes 2 2/3 innings, gives up 6 runs on 9 hits, and heals. He has forgettable starts. That doesn't mean you should forget to bench him. Walter Johnson tossed 7 shutout innings. Scott Stratton gave up a run in relief, and Bert Dorr pitched a scoreless ninth. That was enough for Family Madrigal to take it over at Gales in November. Bullet Rogan gives up 3 runs in 6 1/3 innings. The Pilots and the Demon Bags, they gave us some nice drama in the second game of their series. An Albert Pujols RBI single in the first gave the Pilots an early 1-0 lead, with an Al Kaline sac fly tying it in the third. Al Rosen led off the 7th with a homer to briefly put the Demon Bags on top, but Ed Delahanty, that head's feeling great. He got an RBI single in the bottom of the inning to tie it up. That was it for regulation. In this one, we'd be tied at 2 heading to extra innings. In the bottom of the 10th, 1-out singles from Honus Wagner and Chuck Line, a walk to Willie Mays. That loads the bases. All it takes then is a deep fly ball from Edgar Martinez. That's enough to score Wagner and walk it off for a 2-1 win for the Pilots. Of more note to the Demon Bags, their starter, Fernando Valenzuela, leaves the game with an injury in the 5th. It didn't look serious, but you never know. They'll be waiting with bated breath and saying their prayers till they get an answer about Valenzuela. Hey, Booker McDaniel, he dominated amazings. He tossed a complete game shutout, gives up 6 hits. A shack of their own scored 5 in the first, including a 3-run homer from Ned Williamson. They cruised to a 6-0 win. And then we got plenty of drama in the Yoda's Enhancers game. The Enhancers scored a pair of runs in the 7th. First, a Barry Bonds RBI single, another RBI single from Larry Walker. That puts them on top. But Kevin Apier blows the save. A Norm Cash RBI single scores Yui from the boys to tie it at 4. Frankie Lindor scores or singled to score Nomar Garcia Parra in the bottom of the 8th. That puts the Enhancers back on top 5-4. Zach Britton got a 1-2-3 ninth, nails down the win for the Enhancers, and they are now an incredible 11-2 in 1-run games. Elsewhere, Hilton Smith gave up a pair of runs in the 2nd inning, and then he settled in from there. Cynthia Vostenard picked up a win over the Barrels to tie that series at 1. Jim Thome had an RBI triple and scored on a ground out in the 2nd, but that was all the Barrels would get off Smith. He goes 8 innings, those 2 runs on 6 hits. He strikes out 9 and he walked 1. Earl Averill had 3 hits. He was a homer away from the cycle. Babe Ruth had 3 hits as well. Cynthia scores 4 off Cliff Lee. They take it 4-2. On to the last set of games for this series. An 8-run 3rd inning meant absolutely no doubt and no drama. The throws sweep Steel Tiger Cranes. Jose Rio hits a grand slam in the 3rd and tosses a complete game with 2 runs allowed on 7 hits. Kings of the North take that one 10-2. Smokey Joe Wood, he tosses 8 innings, gives up 1 run on 8 hits. He strikes out 8. But we were tied at 2 going into the 6th. Babe Ruth unties it with a 2-run homer. That doomed Cherokee Fisher to a hard luck loss as Sithy takes that one 4-1 to take the series against the Barrels. Let's Play 2 got 2 in the first off Leroy Maddock, but that was all they would get off Matlock as he went 6 solid innings, scattering 6 hits. The Bandwagoners, though, they struggled to get anything off Greg Maddux until spark plug of the Bandwagoners, Stephen Kwan. Help me, Obi Kwan, your heel's only hope. He gets a triple in the 7th. He scores on a ground out from Sandy Alomar. 1 inning later, Alex Rodriguez ties it up with a 1-out RBI single. But Anthony Rendon hits into an inning-ending double play that keeps it tied. Bandwagoners can't take advantage. That looms large. Ernie Banks leads off the 9th with a solo homer. Kerry Wood pitches a 1-2-3 ninth. And Let's Play 2 takes the win. Doc Gooden, he was nearly unhittable. He gives up 3 hits and no runs as he works 8 innings. He also drives in a pair of runs. Eddie Collins hit the 2-run homer. The Enhancers win that one 5-0, and they sweep the Baby Yodas. Frankie Frisch, he hits a 2-run single in the 8th as he sparked a come from behind victory. come from behind, probably sparking jokes about his anal fissures. Over the shack of their own as Amazings avoids the sweep. They win 6-4. Bryce Harper hits a homer in that one. Cal Ripken drives in 2 runs. Family Madrigal, they're able to complete their sweep. This one coming on the road over Gales in November. Tommy Holmes homered and drove in 5 runs. Bob Gibson gets chased after 2 innings. He gives up 6 runs on 5 hits. Madrigal win it 11-3. They close out May with 4 wins in a row. And we'll end this recap with the Pilots and the Demon Bags, where once again, 9 innings, not enough. An Ed Delahunty RBI single in the 6th tied the game at 3. We'd stay there through 9 innings. Sandy Koufax gave up 3 runs on 10 hits in 8 innings. Jacob deGrom, 3 runs on 5 hits in 8 innings. Neither gets to factor into the decision. Once again, though, it's Ed Delahunty sparking the Pilots. He gets a 2-out double in the 10th off Andy Pettit. Heavy Johnson delivers a single. Delahunty running the entire way. The throw from K-Line was close, but not quite in time. The Pilots walk it off 2 days in a row. Extra inning wins 2 days in a row. They take the series 2-1 over the Demon Bags. Action-packed week on IntyCenter this week. A lot of things happening in Fadus. We'll see you next time as the calendar shifts to June.